Plenty of good. That's good. Start. I will committed to introduce and confirm that they have no.
I'm Bill Acton and I've got no conflict of interest. Kia ora, Matt Carey, councillor here, and no conflict of interest.
And I also have no conflicts of interest. The application is proposed by the reporting agencies, so we will do a round of introductions and then we will have a health and safety briefing, and then I will briefly explain the hearing process for those that aren't familiar and deal with any preliminary matters if there are any. So good morning, Mr. Lang.
Morena te whānau. Nice to see familiar faces, also to meet you, Councillor Carey. Nick Lang is my name and I'm here as the solicitor for the applicant. And perhaps I'll hand over to Henry and Sarah to introduce themselves as well.
I'm Henry Hutchin, I'm the director of Penny Foods.
Sarah Thompson, I'm here to support Henry and won't be talking.
So,
Yep, Simon Ben Jones from the Alcohol Harm Prevention Office in Wellington.
and Inspector.
Karen Eagle, licensing inspector for City Council.
Yeah, Dr. Stephen Palmer, Menopause Health.
The committee has had a discussion and we're happy for people to use their first names if everyone's happy with that. But obviously Dr. Palmer will review that. The application, as I have indicated, is being heard under previous legislation as it was filed and commenced prior to 31st of May 2024. For practical purposes, that just means that all parties will have the ability to ask questions and get cross-examined. The order for the parties for the hearing will be in accordance with our usual practice, and we will start with the applicant's evidence, and I understand there's two witnesses.
That's correct, Ms. Thompson. Yes, Mr. Peter Thomas is just seated here and he'll be the second witness for the applicant.
Okay, and then the order for the reporting agencies will hear from the inspector first, then the police, and then the OH, and that will be the order for questioning as well. And obviously then the committee will also ask the witnesses questions following the cross-examination of the witnesses. You will sit, we don't have a witness table, so you'll just give your evidence on the table. You will be sworn in by the Secretary Lisa over there, and you will either affirm or on oath and before presenting your evidence. And she'll do each one of those. All the briefs of evidence will be taken as read, so you do not have to go through and read those out. You can just give us a short summary if you'd like before the cross-examination starts. At the conclusion of the hearing, we'll do the evidence here today over the next 2 days, and then at the conclusion we will be seeking written submissions in respect of this application, and at the end of the hearing we'll set a timetable given it's the Christmas period, subject to your availability. In terms of breaks, we'll probably go through till about 11 and have a 15-minute adjournment, and then lunch is normally about 1, but depending on where we get to with the evidence, it really depends on what's the appropriate time to break. If there is no preliminary matters, we will just go straight on to the applicant's evidence. Has anyone got any matters that they would like to raise? If not, we're over to you, Mr. Lang.
Thank you, Ms. Thompson. I appreciate that. And thank you for that, the warm welcome. The only preliminary matter I had was just in terms of Mr. Hutchin's evidence. One of the attachments or the exhibits that he'll produce is a video.
Yes, and I've asked Lisa to play that at an appropriate point, and she's got it ready to go.
Oh, excellent. Hey,
So-
well, thank you. Well, that saves me having to try and connect and do all of that sort of fun.
Already addressed that this morning.
Lovely. Okay, well, that's appreciated. Well, with those opening comments in mind, thank you, Ms. Thompson. I'd like to open then for the applicant. I've prepared a brief notes of opening here, and I'll just try and take my time as I work through that for you.
Have you got a written summary or not?
I do not have a written summary, and that's quite deliberate, I would say, and that's possibly almost my first comment, is that I'm anticipating that the focus of matters today, and even perhaps to the extent that we're able to conclude in one day, are quite focused. I wanted to note at the outset is that Mr. Hutchin to my right, as you'll hear from him today, he has a singular vision. And his vision is to open supermarket premises located in this campus. And he's made no secret that he intends to take on the existing duopoly. And this is in a market environment where nationally, as you'll hear, there are many difficulties for consumers in this country about the cost of groceries. And Plenty Foods, as it will be known, is a new entrant to the market. And he's a serious contender to take that on. And it's an enterprise that Mr. Hutchin has devoted a significant amount of preparation to. And it's an enterprise that he's fully committed to. Now, the segue for your task, you as the committee, is plainly in terms of the Sale and Supply of Alcohol Act. You're not concerned with the Commerce Act. You're not concerned necessarily with the specifics of the ins and outs of the Resource Management Act or other consent requirements, but we'll touch on those briefly throughout the hearing. Your task is really to consider whether a off-license may issue. And for a supermarket premises, you'll undertake the familiar task that you all know. And I note the experience amongst the committee. You all know that you need to undertake a future-focused risk assessment. So for the chair and the members of the committee, certainly in my closing written submissions, which you've invited, I'll be able to set that out in some detail. But I very specifically haven't given you a detailed written roadmap, because my opening submission to you is that your task is straightforward. And it's not as complex as you would have read from the material that you'll hear from the reporting agencies. So I say to you that the key issue for you today and in your decision making is to think about this premises in this locality. So naturally, section 105(1)(h) and by extension, section 106 of the Sale and Supply of Alcohol Act. That is your focus. And you need to be thinking about whether the effects of the issue of this licence is going to affect the amenity and good order by more than a minor extent. And I paraphrase what the Act sets out there. Importantly, what I just wanted to stress for you is the Brewtown campus, if you will. It's not a greenfields development. It's not even necessarily a brownfields development. There are already a significant number of premises there, both licensed and unlicensed. And I gather from the committee, having had the opportunity to take a view of the premises and the campus more broadly, you'll see a number of different types of premises co-located there. And you'll be able to hear from Mr. Thomas about how those premises work today. And so I'm saying to you as a baseline, you already know that alcohol is sold and supplied in that campus. It's sold from both on licensed premises for consumption there, but it's also sold from some of those premises on off license basis. So you already have that there. You'll hear from Mr. Thomas about the history of that particular area and the vision that Malcolm Gillies, the landlord, has for regeneration, I guess, but also growth and development. You'll hear from Mr. Hutchin about the support that's been provided by the Upper Hutt City Council So I raise all of that for you, importantly, to get you to think about your task and particularly the opinion you'll form around amenity and good order, to give you that context of this environment. And when you think about whether the addition of a supermarket premises is going to lead to what is being suggested in particular by the police. So I've talked to you about the vision. I've talked to you about your task and your focus on this premises and this locality. The next point I just wanted to make by way of openings to encourage you, indeed require you to consider the evidence. So that's going to be obviously from Mr. Hutchin and from Mr. Thomas for the applicant. You'll also hear from the inspector, and very grateful, Ms. Eagle, thank you for stepping in with the reporting inspector, Ms. Van Mill, being unwell unexpectedly. So you will hear the evidence and you'll have the ability to ask Ms. Eagle questions about the application. And you'll equally be able to do the same for Sergeant Jones from the police and Dr. Palmer for the medical officer. I urge you, and I'm acknowledging the experience of this committee in having regard to other applications. What are you hearing? What are the answers to the questions you will ask? But importantly, what are you not hearing in this application from the reporting agencies? So in particular, you will hear the phrase, the refrain, over and over from the reporting agencies of a high risk area. So those are three critical words for this application, a high risk area. I would hope and anticipate that today, and to the extent we continue tomorrow, that we wrestle with those three words, that you ask yourselves, what do they mean in this application? And ask yourselves, what do you not have to complete your task that you might ordinarily see, for example, from the police? And ask yourself whether that is odd or unusual. Have the opportunity to ask the police's witnesses that they will call about how matters are operating today in this so-called high-risk area, because it won't surprise you that there are two key responses from the applicant to that contention. The first key response is that, as a matter of fact, I suggest that the reporting agencies won't be able to establish that as in fact the case. But the second and really important aspect when you think about your prospective future-focused risk assessment is this. Whenever a risk is present, there's a binary choice in my submission about those risks or a risk that is present. You can either ignore it, or you can consider it carefully and then suggest that there are a whole range of controls to minimize the likelihood of that risk eventuating, and also the impact if that risk eventuates. So what I say is that Mr. Hutchin in particular will be able to speak to you about all of the steps that he's attempted to engage meaningfully with the reporting agencies, hearing their concerns and thinking, what are the controls that can be put in place to minimise the risk, in this case, of reduction in amenity and good order, or the risk of alcohol-related harm occurring should the licence be issued. So that point that I make there of considering the evidence, hearing what is in evidence, also recognising what is not, will lead you to, I think, neatly, that stand back, the Vaudrey test that Justice Gendel encourages you to do. Is you'll step back, you'll stand back, and considering the object of the act. So that is my key focus for you, to wrestle with this high risk area issue. And I submit to you that actually One, it isn't a high risk area, but even to the extent there are risks, they can be controlled and they can ensure that any potential for alcohol related harm is minimised. I've already spoken to you about who the witnesses will be, but I'd propose to call Mr. Hutchin first and then follow up with Mr. Thomas. Now, I'm mindful that it has taken some time to get to a hearing, and that has been a real source of frustration for the applicant, but we're grateful that we are here today and have an opportunity to have the committee engage on this application. I'd be grateful if the committee could focus the questioning, for example, and monitoring the questions that are asked by way of cross-examination on the who bases. One is to be really mindful of the grounds of opposition that have been raised by the reporting agencies. And in my submission, they are primarily in relation to amenity and good order. And secondly, the object of the Act. There's a red herring around whether this is a supermarket premises, and I suggest you can put that to one side. Yes, it is a supermarket premises, quite plainly, and rather than considering whether it might have slipped down into a grocery store. But I would urge you just to be mindful, and let's try and keep our focus on that, and also to minimise sort of duplication of questions to the extent that they arise. But those are my opening comments to you, and if there are particular queries or concerns that you have, happy to take those now, or then move into calling Mr. Hutchin as the first witness.
Okay, we'll just ask Mr. Thomas to leave the room while he gives it the first evidence. I'd like you to leave the room while the first witness gives the evidence, please.
Yeah.
Mr. Lane, just in
Yes.
terms of the last comment about
Yes.
the supermarket, we
Yes.
accept the size issue is being resolved, but obviously, as you're aware, the committee has to determine that it is a supermarket.
Yes.
We viewed the premise and it is very much just a building and an empty, which is quite unusual. So we will, as a committee, have to be confident that it is a supermarket, and what type of products, all of the questioning around that in terms of the layout, the look, the design, everything, we have to be confident before we can grant the application, obviously. So that is a matter as a committee, even though the reporting agencies haven't raised it, that to be compliant, that it is a supermarket, because what we're effectively faced with at the moment, we're not able to view the design and layout, product range. You know, we know where the SAA is going to be, but we don't know what products are going to be displayed around it. So it's
Right.
We will obviously have to address that as a committee in terms of being confident that it is actually going to operate as a supermarket. So I just wanted to put that forward at this point, so you're aware that that is something that will have to be considered by solve this.
Flag that, okay.
Yeah,
Well,
so we will have, you know, it's very unusual. How does the committee make a determination on the design and layout that we're happy with it when we've actually, you'd expressed that it was a building site? Well, it's less than that. It's actually, when we viewed it in the thing, there's nothing in it. It's completely empty. So we were shown vaguely where we saw where the SAA was going to be, but it's a very incomplete, you know, there's no shelving, there's nothing. So,
okay.
Have you been there?
Have I been there? And I've been to the precinct in the
Yeah.
premises.
have you been
Not-
inside the building?
Not inside.
No, well, it's literally just it's simply
Just an empty building.
an empty building. And so how do we determine that it's actually a supermarket? You know, it's like,
Okay.
and it's slightly unusual in that if it was a grocery store, we would have that, as you know, we would have those figures that would determine that the main supply, you know, would have projected figures.
Well,
So
can
that
I?
will be something we want to ask the applicant
Okay.
in terms of,
Right.
you know, because it's just that the area meets the requirements. It's still, we've still got to say, well, how is this a supermarket?
Well, your task, respectfully, I would say, is to form that opinion, and that's still an opinion forming exercise in terms of section 32 and 33. I would say though,
That's exactly the wording of it, isn't it?
Yes.
We do have to form the view that it's a supermarket and an empty
Yes.
warehouse building, you know, so I just want to be
I
clear that we will be asking the questions if the reporting agencies
Okay.
on that, because
yes, yeah, that's right. Well, plainly, the issue of a license for this application will turn on the issue of the certificate of public use and
Yeah.
building consents all
which
being
is the
signed
next
off.
issue, isn't it? Because
Yeah.
that's a long step away from that. And there is an issue as to whether that's the first step that before the application comes in yeah, because it's,
Can I just pose, yes, and that's something that Mr. Hutchin can happily speak to. I just wanted to think that perhaps through one step further as we work through, if the signal that I'm getting from you, Ms. Thompson, is that there's going to need to be significant additional questioning about product ranges, type, depth, range of products, all of that sort of stuff that will be sold, then certainly that's something that could be addressed. And it's just thinking about the most efficient way
yeah, no, that's.
of doing that.
Because it's certainly not evidence for us at the moment that I could see from the application.
The position for the applicant is that this is not a grocery store.
Yeah.
There is no tick box for that. There is no basis that I would say that there would be a default to it being a grocery store.
Yeah. Because of the size, but in terms of us making that assessment, it's interesting, isn't it? That, you know, because of the size, it takes it out of that.
Yes, out of that, that's right. It moves it into
So
that.
could a grocery, I wondered about that, could a grocery store be bigger than 1,000 square meters? I think possibly.
Mr. Acton, I would definitely urge.
Do you know what I'm saying?
I do. If that is a focus of the hearing, I'm mindful of staying on the supermarket track. That's
Yeah.
very much the
Yeah.
application. I would be loath to spend several hours today doing a grocery store
Yeah.
discussion. I think that would be unhelpful for us to spend that time doing that. But I hear what you're saying. But perhaps in theory, what the committee might see, there was a supplementary brief or a reply brief filed by Mr. Hutchin, which you may have seen.
Yeah.
And
But
it's
that addresses the size, doesn't,
Yeah.
but it doesn't actually address what we're required to do in terms of, is it, you know, forming the
Right.
supermarket. So yes, once it takes it out of the size issue, okay, we'll accept, if we accepted that, you know, that it is the, you know, over 1,000 square meters, but it's the fact is that I was thinking about it, we still have to be confident that it's a supermarket, you know.
yes.
It's a basic step that we have to get across before we, anyway.
Well, is it worth just thinking about that, even as we exchange this in opening about what is, you know, determining whether they are a grocery store? I mean, my submission to you is that the 33 matter would effectively fall away. You know, when you look at what your task under 32(1)(e) is, that plainly you need to form an opinion, are a supermarket with a floor area and including these separate departments set aside for foodstuffs as fresh meat, fresh fruit and vegetables and delicatessen items, etc.
But when you look at the definition of supermarket, you know, you see the trolleys, you see the aisles, you know, that's
Yes.
what it shows you in terms of that turns it into, you know, so we've got none of that yet.
Okay. Well, I don't want to get off on the wrong foot, so to speak.
Oh, I just
And-
think it was worth raising
Yeah.
with you when you said that it's not an
Yes.
issue and for the committee, it obviously is an issue. So why don't we just carry on with that in mind? Because if it is a case that we aren't satisfied, we need further information in terms of that at the, where we get to at the end. But I just
Yeah, that-
want to signal it now that
Yeah.
you can be aware that
That's
that's the
right.
line of questioning that we will have to go to.
Yes.
Okay.
And that's the flip side of your other point, I guess, Ms. Thompson, is that the fact that the premises is not ready to open today and the last sort of exercises to tick off effectively the grant of an alcohol license, for example, means that there would be time to work through that. to work through that issue if there was further information that was required. What we do have though is helpfully that fly through for you.
That's what you end up with, is that, that's the evidence that we've got. Okay.
And that's what we have to have. We can't give you a completed
Yeah.
premises to look at, for example, and there's nothing in the act that requires that. So look, happy to work that through. Perhaps then a way of working through that then will be some questions from myself to Mr. Hutchin about the product range, etc., that's going to be sold and the particular layout, both with reference to the fly through and then also the maps and floor plans that have already been included as part of the application. If that would assist.
Well, I think we need, okay.
To work that through. Okay, I'm getting a strong indication that that is another issue to work through as well. Look, that's okay. All right. Well, mindful then, let's turn to call Mr. Hutchins as the first witness for the applicant.
Swear. Yeah. Choose.
My name is Henry Hutchin. And do you swear by one of the evidence you're about to give, touching the matters before this committee is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? I do.
Is that your full name, Henry?
Oh, yeah, sorry, Henry Ward Baxter Hutchin.
Yeah.
So I've never had to do it.
And normally we have a witness desk and we have a folder of the actual documents that we'll refer to. Have you got?
Go on.
Yeah. That's right.
Thank you. Well, thank you, Mr. Hutchin. Just for good order, you'll have in the meeting pack in front of you, there is a brief of evidence from yourself there, which is at page 102. And you've just confirmed your full name there as Henry Ward Baxter Hutchin. This is your brief of evidence that you've prepared. Mr. Hutchin, Chair Ms. Thompson indicated that your brief of evidence, it's as if you've just read that through. So everything that you've contained in there, it's as if we've read that all aloud and that's now before the committee. But what I wanted to do then to begin, Mr. Hutchin, there were two key topics really for me that I wanted to talk with you about. The first one is to work through some highlights of your brief of evidence and just to get your response to some of those matters. And then the second was just in terms of what the chair's indicated now is wanting to understand you running a supermarket premises. So there'll be some material that I will just generate a little bit on the fly if you'll permit me. And we'll work through that. So, Mr. Hutchin, let's begin. I'd like you to just explain to the committee why this site, why this premises in this particular location. Just help the committee with that journey, please.
Yeah. So this journey probably started well over a year ago, probably 18 months. And naively, I thought I could find a premises on my own, and I struggled quite hard to do that. So I engaged with Bailey's, and we looked at a range of sites. And funnily enough, Brewtown was the last site we looked at. And on the second, that was the spot for me. And the main rationale around that is one, I need a really cooperative landlord, one that's willing to invest in the future of that site, and two, direct the market and the direct competition. And I've spent 17 years in foodstuffs, and I've done over 2 years as an independent now. And on the 17 years I spent in foodstuffs, the Upper Hutt market was probably the least competitive space. And as far as standards go compared to the rest of the markets that I've worked in and toured and visited, was the one that I thought I could make the most difference in.
Mhm.
And the lack of a New World or a More Wilson style store here meant that I could have a good go at it.
Okay. And I know in your evidence, you've spoken about there being a need, this was at paragraph 27 of your brief. I saw there was a need for a specialist store there stocking a range of groceries suited for all customers. Just tell us a little bit more about the focus there and the grocery range that you'll focus on.
Yeah, for sure. So given the Commerce Commission has freed up the distribution centres from Foodstuffs and Progressive, there's probably never been a better time than now to go independent. I have access to all, I think it's 7 DCs locally.
And when you say DCs,
Oh, sorry,
that's
that's
okay.
jargon. The distribution centres from the big two.
Okay.
So that's combined, that's probably about 50,000 SKUs. And then I also have a SKU is a sell item.
Sell item.
That's an individual product.
Okay.
And then on top of that, I have access to 3 distribution centres out of Singapore. And the Singapore distribution centres, they have products from all over the world. Very, very unique. And I went there last January and secured supply agreements, and there's a local supplier that I work quite closely with.
Mhm.
So there'll be some really unique products from all around the world. And then on top of that, given that I spent so long in Foodstuffs, I've got quite a lot of relationships with suppliers all over the country, local and, you know, as far as Otago. So I really think that our range could be quite unique.
Okay.
Yeah.
And why, I guess the question might be asked, why Upper Hutt? Why is it that Upper Hutt's the launch pad for your new venture?
Yeah, I briefly touched on that before. It's more coming back to a very cooperative landlord and the fact that there's no New World up here, which is in my mind very, very different from a Pack and Save and a Countdown. It's kind of like in the middle, and they would specialize in more products. And when I say New World, I use that as a reference point. I'm not going to be a New World. It's just to give you an idea of where I position pricing and range. But I know that we'll have more offerings, more similar to like a More Wilson, or fresh one you'd see just off Tory Street.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, that provides a little bit of background, I think, for just turning and thinking about what I wanted to just ask you some questions on, Mr. Hutchin, from your brief evidence there, about really what it is that the reporting agencies have suggested you will be and how you will operate. So, for example, you've already given this evidence in your brief at paragraph 45. Yeah, the police and medical officer and the inspector have all raised concerns about pricing of alcohol, and they've spoken about bulk cut price alcohol. And I think the wording also that the police will use in their evidence is to talk about cheap mainstream alcohol. And they've got some particular concerns about that. Just in your own words, what's your response to that suggestion?
It's going to be rather difficult for me to be cheap on mainstream alcohol or alcohol in general. Most of the alcohol, beer and wine lines that I would range would have to come from the big two's distribution centres.
Okay.
And they obviously put a premium on top of their cost. And then they charge, obviously, for Foodstuffs, they'll charge an 80-cent fee per carton on top of that. So automatically the cost of goods are priced higher. And then obviously I need to put margins on top of that, pay for staff and the like.
Okay.
And I don't have the ability, nor do I have the current relationships with direct suppliers to buy in any serious volume, nor do I really have the space to do that.
Okay. So when they talk about cheap mainstream alcohol, when they use that word cheap, is that a fair description to you?
No. Not at all.
And so in light of what you've spoken about just now about, for example, you need to purchase from the wholesaler, they will add their own markup effectively onto that before they sell it on to you.
Yeah.
And then you will need to add your own margin onto that to reflect your costs.
Yeah.
Okay. And then, and does that apply specifically to alcohol as well?
No, that would apply to everything out of those distribution centres.
Okay.
So 50,000 SKUs. So it's probably good to point out, I don't intend to be cheap. I don't intend to compete on price with Pack and Save and Countdown. That's not my strategy really. It's more needs to be better, needs to be different.
Yes.
And that's what I intend to be. And,
Okay.
and I feel like I can achieve that with produce and protein and a really large global range.
Okay. Okay. I understand that. So what you've set out in your brief of evidence, you've included some material here from paragraphs 43, 34, and then there's a table. So it's on page 109. I just wanted to take you to that page 109. And you see that. So this is your evidence, and you've already, it's as if you've spoken this through and spoken all that aloud. So I just wanted to work through some of these, please, with you, and just to understand some of those. So we've spoken briefly about a risk that there might be increased price competition. And what I understand that to mean is that there might be competition with, for example, some of the other supermarkets nearby.
Yeah.
Okay. So then here you've put on 3 controls, for example. You've set out minimum pricing controls. You've set out a single sales policy, and you've set out undertaking and conditions to apply. Just in terms of the minimum pricing controls, you've spoken over the page about some of those. Just there under paragraph 48. Are you aware of any controls being in place for other supermarkets in Upper Hutt?
I don't know what their policies are, but
okay. But you're prepared to effectively offer that as part of your policy, that you'll have a minimum pricing policy.
Yep.
Interestingly, Mr. Hutchin, there's a mention there about no single sales of a number of different beers there. This is in the 3rd bullet point: Kingfisher Strong, Hagen Strong, Carlsberg Strong at any size. Would you be prepared to have that as a condition on your license?
yeah, absolutely.
Okay. And then similarly there for large bottles or cans over 500 mils. Will be sold in less than case lots for any non-craft mainstream beer. Similar to that, would you have a condition reflecting that on your license?
Yeah.
And then also, what about mainstream beer only sold in case amounts, except for large bottles and cans over 500 mils?
Yeah.
A condition for that as well?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. Some of the other, and if we just turn back over the page, we've got some other aspects there. I just wanted to move further down. Now, you've already spoken there about sales to minors and what controls and monitoring you have. The same for intoxicated persons on the premises. But I wanted to just briefly touch on this one. Consumption of alcohol in liquor ban areas. Now, this is a risk that the police identify. How do you see this risk playing out in practice at Brewtown?
So as far as I'm concerned, there'll be no alcohol consumed on premises I'm responsible for. And it's my understanding that Gillies Group, who are the direct landlord that I deal with, have the same approach.
Okay.
If they're drinking outside of a licensed premise, they're moved on.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we'll speak a little bit more with Mr. Thomas about that, but let's just talk briefly about security, for example.
Yep.
Who is security provided by for the landlord?
Currently it's Allied Security when they patrol the campus.
Okay, so there's a patrolling of the campus by that. And a particular focus from the reporting agencies is concerns raised if I'm right, these are concerns that are raised in relation to Wellington and also Lower Hutt, certain events that have occurred there. They raise some concern about whether security will be adequate to prevent side loading. You're familiar with side loading, what that means?
Yep.
And also preloading, familiar with that as well. So that's their concern. What's your approach to security on a day that there's an event at Brewtown?
So if there is an event on a Brewtown, where alcohol consumption is granted or increased, I'll have a security personnel in the car park 2 hours before the event starts and during the event.
And during the event as well.
And I do have a security company I use currently out in Nainai. They only do 4 hours a day. So they've already agreed to help me out on that basis.
Okay.
That company's called Loss and Prevention.
Mhm.
They currently deal with, just to give you an idea of their experience.
Mhm.
Sorry, I'm going to have him come in, but he's overseas right now. They currently work with Miramar New World, Island Bay New World, Willow Street New World, Night and Day Manor Street, Night and Day Cuba Street, Pakasafe Kapiti, Oteki New World, Pioneer New World, and
Okay.
Supersafe 99.
And so are you saying that you're experienced in helping other supermarket
Yeah.
premises?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, okay. That's helpful to understand. Okay. Let's just take that one step further. How will things work, say, on an event day in relation to some of the other premises at Brewtown, the other licensees around security? How will that be coordinated?
My understanding is Gillies Group have extra security on the premises.
Okay.
And I think it's run by the licensee, but I think, and also Ella Security have increased presence as well.
Okay. And then lastly, just thinking about security cameras, what security cameras will you have and how will they be monitored?
So I've one over the car park at all times. There'll be some over the cell points, some over the liquor department as well. There's numerous other locations in the premise. We'll have a large screen up in the main shared office where all the management work.
Okay.
That will have the cameras on it. Also have the cameras set up on my phone, the store manager's phone, and the assistant store manager's phone, so we can view it remotely.
Okay.
Given the security software we use, we can install that on a laptop or desktop as well.
Okay.
So if extra is needed, we can do that.
And just help me understand external facing security cameras. Will you have access to those?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. And they'll be monitored. You've just spoken about the screen, for example, or on the laptop or on the phone. They'll be accessible for that as well. Okay. Well, that's helpful to understand. Just help me understand if there is a security issue, or let's say there was someone who was located in the car park drinking. How will you review that incident? What processes will you have in your business to review incidents like that and report those through to you?
There'll be an incident book up at the service desk that the junior manager will need to write in.
Okay.
Regardless if there's an incident. Just for some way of recording. The car park will be patrolled regularly. But,
Okay.
And we're quite lucky that the whole front of the building will be glass, so I'll be able to reference from the island quite regularly as well.
Okay. Okay. Well, that's helpful to know. I wonder if Mr. Hutchin, now might be a useful time just to, because we've been talking about the store, you've just spoken about the front of the store, the glass, if we perhaps play that video and get that into evidence, then I'll ask you a range of questions about that. And I'm just thinking who will be in control of that.
Sorry, can I raise something with the committee?
Sure.
Is this was never disclosed to me as one of the reporting agencies of video and the evidence?
The video was attached as an appendix to the brief of evidence.
Yeah, it was never.
Have you not been sent it?
Have you
I
seen
think-
it?
From what I can tell you, I've seen it, it's about a minute long.
It's a minute
Maybe
long.
maybe watch it and then
Yeah.
you see whether you've got.
I guess have we introduced new evidence?
No,
No,
I
it's-
just filed
Yeah,
it, filed
it's
an evidence. So I
It's
didn't-
not really new, it's obviously an issue that, you know, apology that you haven't received it, but if let's just watch it, because the committee definitely got copies of it, but if we just watch it, and then if you've got any concerns, raise it after we've seen it.
Just,
Sorry, Karen, were you given a copy of this video?
I have seen
Have you?
this video,
Okay.
Sarah, yeah.
actually, if we just, can I just pause that there just before we get right into it? Sorry, thank you. I'll just ask you to pause at various points throughout the video. So don't play it just yet, but just so I confirm that this is what Mr. Hutchin refers to at paragraph 34 of his brief of evidence for you, Sergeant. So that's referred to there, and then there's a number of those following paragraphs through to paragraph 38. So Mr. Hutchin has just given all of that material in his evidence. What we'll do is we'll pause just briefly at various points throughout the video for the committee.
Can I just ask, sorry, Dr. Palmer, did you get a copy of it or not?
I believe we did.
You
Yeah,
did,
we
so it's
did.
only the, it's
Yeah.
only, yeah, no, it must have got, it's an IT issue probably.
And the intention of the pausing now, just to check what you would prefer. Would you prefer to watch it all the way through uninterrupted and
I
then
think
restart and then
restart,
narrate
go
it?
back. I
Is that
think
all
we'll
right?
watch it
Okay,
all.
let's do
It's
this.
really short, isn't it?
It is short.
I mean, I've
It's just
seen it.
about a minute. So yeah, let's play it all the way through. Good idea. And then we'll go through again. Thank you.
This isn't the one I was saying. Mine had no food in it. This is different.
When was this produced then?
This was part of this is attachment H is my
And
understanding.
my attachment H, I can take, so let's say where the vegetables are, they're
Okay,
all empty. I've got no food in my video, so just, this does seem to be this does seem to
Have
be.
you updated it? Maybe ask the witness if he's updated. the
I think we
video.
only set one video through.
that's right for to check for filing. That's
Well,
right.
let's watch it.
We can
I
check.
couldn't watch it online, so I haven't seen. it.
Oh,
Have you seen
okay.
it, Matt?
So just played the video there, and that's very much the video that Mr. Hutchin is producing for the committee to consider and to look that through. What I propose to do now for the committee is just to take through various. Luckily, that's not mine. Excellent. Is to take Mr. Hutchin through and then perhaps just to try and address some of those matters that you'd indicated around some of those broader grocery / supermarket criteria. And you'll just have to forgive me leading the witness through this. This is all this is all very natural. So let's just take this from Mr. Hutchin. Okay. So let's start the video again and just play it for about 3 or 4 seconds. Just want to get a closer up view of the entrance of the store. And if we just pause there. Okay. So Plenty Foods is the labelling there, and there's a subtitle there that I can see, Mr. Hutchin, that says market, slightly obscured at the moment, market fresh.
Yep.
Is that your tagline that you'll have there?
That's the current one that
Okay.
it's quite funny. I've gone through all of this and
Yes.
settled on logos and things like that with the marketing guys.
Right.
But yeah, that's what it currently is. It's market fresh.
Well, when you talk about logos, so you're saying perhaps the font of the Plenty Food, so that's not absolutely settled yet.
No. That's just to give you a context of where it would be. It'll be similar to that. There
Okay.
might be some black pine or something.
Okay. Well, let's just be really clear about the colour scheme. So in your evidence, you talk about a clean and fresh look. I think a modern, fresh, vibrant space.
Yeah.
Yeah, as you see from our styling, we avoid the garish colouring and branding of our competitors. We have a clean and fresh look. So that's the intention. So we're seeing white and black there. That's
Yeah.
what you'd like to have. Okay. So you're not going to have a red, for example.
No,
But green, nothing like that, I understand. Okay. And no other, primary colour like that. It's black and white.
Mm.
Okay. All right. So you've spoken just briefly before about the front of the store being glass, and we were talking about that in a security context, so you can see into the store. If we just advance the video by about maybe 5 seconds, I just want to identify the principal entrance of the store. So just pausing here at 13 seconds elapsed. The principal entrance of the store, Mr. Hutchin, where is that?
Just right there by that, by the trolleys and baskets.
By the trolleys and on which side of the store?
Left hand.
Left-hand side. And what about the exit to the store? Where will that be?
That's on the far right side.
That's on the far right
next to
side.
the ATM.
Okay, all right. That's helpful to understand. Now, if we just advance the video entering into the store, please.
Sorry, can you just stop the video? So can Mr. Hutchin compare it with the architect's plan we've been given on page 26, because it's quite different.
Okay.
So this I think goes back to what Mr. Thompson has said. So we're having to form an opinion on the supermarket. My worry is this changes over time. What we see today isn't what happens in 6 months' time. And so page 26 is quite different from that video.
Yeah.
So which one's correct?
That one.
So are we going to get updated plans?
Yeah, sorry, I thought there was updated plans and I didn't see them.
Okay.
I
We can
think
provide those.
where this has come from, this was the first rendering. This was like architects have to put this together. This was quite an expensive exercise for me. So that was the first one we put together just to apply to the agencies.
Page is that on?
26.
And obviously, yeah, we put this in.
Sorry?
Sorry, we put this in last year. I spent a lot of time and effort getting it to the point where I'm ready to submit the building consent. So we're ready to submit. But I'm just, I was conscious that we're having the hearing today, so I thought I'd wait and see if there's anything I needed
So
to
you
say.
you haven't put your application in for a building consent?
It's ready to go. Just waiting for having the hearing today, so I was waiting. And Peter and I need to sit down and do it. But the architectural plans are ready to go.
So to the extent there's a difference, plans we should assume are wrong. And that video is correct. That's the point.
That video is correct, yes.
So on.
Sorry, you can't interfere with
No,
witness.
no.
He's giving, he's under oath and you cannot,
Okay.
you simply sit there and not interrupt. So that's when he's giving you the answer.
Eh.
Wonder if you can find it in there.
That's right. Well, noting that plan that you've referred to there, Mr. Acton, you know, the date stamp, I think, is 30th of November 2023. You know, I don't want to be difficult, but the length of time that it's taken to come to hearing, there's been some natural changes in that. I mean, this was required to submit as part of the application, which was submitted, I understand, in January. So, yes, that's helpful to know. We'll get the witness to confirm.
Just really knowing which is the watch.
Yes.
You know, like, this
Sure.
is the big topic that's been raised.
Yes.
We have the foreman's opinion
Yes,
about something that isn't built yet.
yes,
And the first thing I thought was that video is different than the plan. So
right.
just knowing which is correct is important.
And it's
Yes,
actually, you haven't submitted the plans to get building consent yet. So we're dealing with an application where you haven't even submitted to the council in terms of getting the building consent. So it's not, I mean, it's a,
Well, resource consent, I believe, was approved, and it's just building consent's ready to go. It's just hasn't been submitted. I had intended to do it last week, but Peter was away.
so do you have a set of plans that,
Yeah, we can submit those if you like.
okay, cool.
Okay, well, look, we'll try and use this. I mean, this is, at least from my perspective, helpful for this look and feel assessment. And so I'll take my time, Mum. But respectfully, Mum, that issue about the grocery store, to my mind, I haven't really focused on that. And had there have been a strong indication that there needs to be a focus on that, we would have prepared much more in relation to that. In relation to that aspect. So I'll try and walk through it slowly to work through this. So this will be helpful to the sort of look and feel aspects, is what I'm wanting to explore here. Okay, so let's advance through and we'll pause it again. Just pausing now. Perhaps if you could just go back about 2 seconds, please, to timestamp 22. Thank you. So at timestamp 22 there, just want to refer you to that screen image. On the left, you can tell me what those are on the far left of the store there.
Yeah, it's I believe that holds 28 supermarket trolleys. There's 15 total.
50 in total supermarket trolleys, okay, and baskets?
200.
200 baskets,
in the
okay,
store, yeah.
all right. And to the right of the to the right of the screen, can you tell me what will be located there with those counters, etc.?
Yeah, absolutely. So probably best if I guess with context. So when in my last few years at Foodstuffs, I was running deli and bakery and seafood and things like that. And the serve over, the way it's designed isn't really doesn't work anymore. And so I've kind of condensed like all the food to go and the customer service desk into one island managed by one very capable person. So what we have there is we have coffee, we've got pastries and cold food and hot food. Also, we have Sushi B from Wellington City that'll be making sushi out there fresh 7 days a week. Then we have Bae Marie for chicken and chips. We're designing a Korean style chicken and chip menu for that. There's also Scoop ice cream. Haven't worked out a partner for that yet. So we'll have food to go, and then we'll have a couple of express checkouts there, as well as any service desk items.
Okay, thanks. So that's at timestamp 22. Okay, so let's advance further by about 10 seconds, please. We just pause almost just past now. Okay, so we're at timestamp 32 seconds. Over to the right, Mr. Hutchin, can you identify on the far right what we can see there?
Yeah, that's 5 checkouts.
Okay. And tell me about the checkouts just briefly. Are they manned or
Yeah,
unmanned?
they're manned checkouts. There's no self-scan checkouts in store.
Okay, so no self-scanning
No.
checkouts. Okay. Stuff, all right. And then in the center of the screen,
Mhm.
what can we see?
That would be produce. There'll also probably be at the very last island on the side facing the aisles, there'll be bakery. It's quite a lot of bakery products there, like buns and croissants and things. Unfortunately, the architect didn't have those models in his database. So
Okay, that's all right.
watermelons.
Well, cool. Let's just take it in stages. I just want to focus on what you've spoken about. That will be produce as your answer.
Yeah.
Just tell me a little bit more about produce. I want to know specifically about the types of produce and the range of produce and the depth of produce. Can you please just tell me about
sure.
that?
So on the left-hand side, that whole wall up to where they become doors is chillers.
Okay.
And from memory, sorry, I haven't written this down, but I believe I'd allocated about 7 meters of chiller to produce. And that would have everything you'd see from day to day. But we'll probably have a lot of specialty produce items there's quite a unique supplier base up in Auckland. You know, and it's probably best if I talk about Quan around that. So Quan spent 30 years at Pakasafe Petone, and quite a big period of that was produce specialization. So he's got very great knowledge in that. He goes to the market every week for me now at Nano, and we intend to do that here. And I've got a interesting concept that I've talked to Angus from Wonky Box about. Maybe we could work with them about putting out, you know, B grade produce at a cheaper price, or whatever boxes they can't sell. You know, and so everything you would expect to see in a standard supermarket will have,
Okay.
and then we'll have specialty on top of that.
One of the things that's often helpful to understand, Mr. Hutchin, is let's just take apples.
Mhm.
How many different types of apples will you have?
Geez, it changes every week.
Okay.
Peak apple season 20. It could be 20 apples, but
20 different types. And
Yeah,
just give us some
depends.
examples of types of apples. I know it
there's
seems.
Pink Lady, Rose, Royal Gala,
Okay.
Granny Smith.
Okay.
There's lots.
Okay, lots. And what is your intentions about stocking types of apples?
Lots. They have the best range at the best price, really.
Okay.
Yeah. Produce is because of the way the Big Two is set up, they're quite bound with how they purchase things. And it's getting even more stringent now, which has allowed us to pick up the pieces, really. And so we'll have a core range of apples like Royal Gala, Granny Smith, Lemonade, things like that.
Okay.
But you know, as apples come and go, there'll be the big promotions. We can get a bin of apples and sell it for 99 cents now.
Okay.
Quite regular, yeah.
Okay. What I'm just trying to understand is, will you be selling more than, say, just one type of apple? And look, there's no evidence about other supermarkets in this application, for example. I'm just trying to get from you, when we're stepping into that produce section, and where you can see in the center aisle that you've identified as the produce section, there are multiple numbers of the actual type of fruit.
Yeah.
So what's your intention about the broad range of fruits that you're going to sell?
Oh, I'd have everything that's in season at the right price. Plus, you know, in saying that, we might have quite a few hydroponic berries and things like that, greenhouse
Okay.
vegetables and things like that.
Yes.
Because that's the kind of place I want to position the store.
Okay.
I want to be able to have the raspberries and the blueberries and strawberries as often as I can. Type of scenario. You know,
Okay.
there'll be at least 4 types of bananas.
At least 4 types
to
of
put
bananas.
it into context, you know.
Okay.
Bananas in a good supermarket should make up 0.5% of your turnover.
So, sorry, say that again.
Bananas in a good supermarket should take up 0.5% of your turnover.
Okay, 0.5% of your turnover just for bananas.
A pack of sardines is about
1%.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, that's helpful. No, so I hear from your evidence you're intending to stock a full range of produce.
Yeah.
And even, for example, apples, you've said that at the peak of season, there might be 20 different types of apples.
Yeah.
That might be sold. Okay. All right, well, just to round out that discussion, if you were to say compare yourself to a small Foursquare in terms of the range and depth of fruit that you sell, how would you compare?
It's like comparing apples with oranges, to be honest. I mean, the small Foursquare, I mean, what would you consider small Foursquare, like Karori Foursquare? Would that be?
Look, you're the specialist, Mr. Hutchin, more than I.
Like if you were to go to a small Foursquare, you'd only see like one type of apple. They'd have yellow bananas. They wouldn't have two types of. They wouldn't have organic or bobby.
Okay.
You know, they'd have one citrus. Wouldn't have five types of citrus, which I intend to have. You know.
Okay,
Yeah.
so you intend to have the latter, you intend to have the 5 types of citrus.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So I'll put it another way.
To be honest, that's how you make good margin on produce. Is having the range. I
Okay,
think.
So how many, 3 of projects is it?
Yeah, I think before we had a couple of pallet drops there, but it might actually be 4 if I have the bins. But 3 for now.
okay,
I have to check what I've got. So what happened was when I first started designing this, it's a countdown that closed up in Auckland, and I managed to get all their fittings. What a deal! Just the way they put everything away, I wasn't able to itemize everything. But I know there's at least 3.
okay. Well, why don't we just advance the video a little bit, but just before we do, just to recap, you've talked about 7 meters of,
Sorry. My witness is just, because she's operational police officer, she's just had to dart back to the station, so I'll give her a contact when she's needed here, just to give you guys.
Thank you very much. Sorry to interrupt.
no,
That's
not
right.
at all. I just wanted to check in with the committee just to see whether we're on track for the types of questioning around the
Well, it's giving
videos.
us a sense of
Yeah.
what,
Okay,
as much as we can.
yeah, certainly.
You know, and yeah, so we'll have all the salads. I think I'll probably put like orange juice and kombucha and stuff up
Okay,
next to the salads. So that's why I put 7.5 meters, because each cabinet is about 2.5 meters long from memory.
okay.
Yeah.
All right, well, let's just move forward, and I'll just pause again further by the fruit there. We just pause there. We've talked about fruit, Mr. Hutchin, and what about broader forms of produce? I'm thinking about vegetables, obviously,
Right.
and anything else you can think to. Just reflecting on my question before, I'm talking about depth and range. Please just tell me about that for the other types of produce.
Oh, they had everything: broccoli, lettuce, avocados, tomatoes, celery, beans, cabbage, the full range, capsicums, anything you can think of that you'd see when you go shopping, we'd have
When you go shopping, where?
at any other supermarket in the country.
Okay, so that's your intention.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, and then what about sort of preserved? What about items? You know, I'm thinking things like garlic, ginger, these types of things. I'm talking about bagged lettuces. Tell me what your intentions are for those.
Yeah, no, we'd have all of them.
Okay,
Sorry, it's quite hard for me. There's so
I
many
know.
produce. It's quite hard for me to describe it. Like,
It's
I'd have
okay.
the garlics, the gingers, the cuminas, the potatoes,
yes.
pumpkins. It'd all be there.
And so what?
The concept is to be a full service supermarket.
Yes,
Right.
a full service supermarket. Okay, well, I'm not wanting to labour the point. One of
But
the
we do
things.
need the evidence. because
Exactly.
we
Yeah,
don't have it
I'm quite
physically,
happy with
it's
it.
just
I-
glorious it is.
I'm quite happy
Exactly.
with it.
No, that's
You know,
okay.
We have to, you know, we
Yeah.
have to have some basis upon which we would.
Exactly.
I could talk about that.
Definitely. And so one of the things for you, Mr. Hutchin, that the committee will be thinking about is depth and range. I know I'm saying those words again. So with each answer that you give, keep thinking about depth and range. So just to really, you know, when you're talking about broccoli, for example, in where the broccoli is, how many stalks of broccoli are there going to be?
It would be 25. You probably have 2, maybe 3 crates out of broccoli in one go. That would make a decent presentation.
Okay.
You know, you shock the eyes, not anything else, so it has to look good. So
It has to look
at least I'd say at least 3 crates. Well,
Okay.
at least 2, definitely 3. Yeah.
Yes. Okay. Okay. So that's really what I'm talking about when I
Right.
mean depth. For
Okay.
example,
Yeah.
is there just one broccoli head out? Or is there 75? You're telling me there's 75.
I understand.
Okay, so sorry to just take it through.
No, that's all right.
No, that's
Is that
right.
helpful?
Yeah, I get it now. Yeah, the minimum, most of the space would be 20 kilos, you know, when it comes to fruit and bananas would be. Bananas an 18 kilo box, you probably have 5 boxes of bananas out in one go.
Okay,
Green bananas would be 13 kilos, you'd have 2 of those out. And tomatoes are vary.
yes,
Avocados vary by count, and it could be 100 or 80 count. You probably have 2 or 3 crates of those. So they come in crates because you boxes.
okay,
Yeah, the volume of produce is quite high.
yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, look, that's helpful to understand. Thank you. So we've talked about produce, we've talked about fruit, we've talked about vegetables, we've talked about your intention to have a full range of products equivalent to any other supermarket in the country was your evidence.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, why don't we move away from
But
What-
I should just say, there's be about 7 meters of meat as well.
okay, because that's the next topic that we're going to go
Yeah.
to. So
Right.
just so you know, Mr. Hutchin, in terms of what section 32 I think the Act talks about departments, and you'll be familiar with departments. So the wording that this committee is focusing on is this. It's section 32(1)(e), Mr. Hutchin. It says an off license may be issued only, and E says, for premises that, in the opinion of the licensing committee concerned, are a supermarket with a floor area of at least 1,000 square meters. And it says, including any separate departments set aside for such foodstuffs as fresh meat, fresh fruit and vegetables, and delicatessen items. So we've talked about fresh fruit and vegetables. We're going to talk about meat now.
Yep.
And then we'll come to delicatessen as well. And then we'll talk about the broader dried goods departments, if that's convenient for the committee. Okay, let's focus on meat.
Yep.
Where will meat be in your store?
So it'll just come just after the produce, 7 meters. So I've got a unique relationship with M&M Master Butchers out in Kapiti.
Sorry, could I just interrupt the hearing? I'm sorry to do this. That's most unusual for my wife to be calling about an issue at the school that my children are at.
Why don't we take an adjournment
Apologies,
15
is that
minutes?
all right?
because
Yeah.
we'll be back at 15.
Go 11, go 11 on
Yeah. And actually, Lisa will do the health and safety briefing, which I forgot at the beginning, so we do that as well. So we'll see you back here in a minute.
some horrible bomb threat made against this primary schools in Nelson. And I just had a disturbing sort of text message that looked quite serious and a call from my wife, but it's all okay. Police have done a wonderful job. It's all cleared and everyone's fine. Thank you. Thank you. Sorry about that.
We wanted to raise.
Yes.
I think it's appropriate to do it now, like from the evidence.
Yes.
The witness that they haven't even applied for building consent.
Yes.
So I just want your views on how we're expected to proceed as a committee when in issues with design and layout. If the building consent's not granted and things will change, then how on earth? It just to me seems concerning committee that if he hasn't applied for building consent, because normally in some instances, you know, under 100, when the building consent is, they've got the consent number and that's just, they've got the
Working
plans,
its
everything,
way
and it's just,
through.
we're waiting for that and
Yes.
it's subject to that. But this is a case where he hasn't even applied for building consent. So I just cannot, it just all seems rather premature that if he doesn't get consent, or that consent is not the plan, it's not the design and layout. So how do you suggest that the committee is going to deal with this? Because I just cannot see a way through.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, okay, I'm hearing that. Thank you, Ms. Thompson. The two ways I think through it perhaps are there's further material that Mr. Hutchinson can speak to about that he's already spoken briefly in his evidence about an intention to submit that. And a practical way through that could be, for example, to provide the plans through to the committee and then confirmation of when the building consent is lodged.
But there's always going to be variations to that consent, aren't there?
Yes.
You know, like you submit a plan and the chances are that there's going to be amendments to it. So it's not, that's the sort of the first step, isn't it? Is to actually, the plans haven't even gone in. So what we're dealing with here could look, they might have a fire exit, for example, that might change where the SAA goes. You know, there's all sorts of stuff that could change in that consenting process.
Right.
So
I'd anticipated, looked at it somewhat more optimistically about that perhaps, but it's a different department of council, isn't it?
Yeah.
Question mark about how that's going to work. In terms of the way that that sale of alcohol application process has sort of worked its way through and chain. I mean, Mr. Hutchinson can speak to the building consent. I mean, he's the director and shareholder of the applicant that will be applying for that, and he could give you some comfort about that. I'm just trying to think ahead for the committee. Are you indicating that there's, you know, a fundamental issue that we're uncomfortable about proceeding with the
I
hearing?
haven't come across this situation where a building consent hasn't even been applied for. Because it's not, you know, and every council is different, obviously, in terms of the
Yes.
timing and how they, you know,
Yes.
but I know with my own personal ones and I imagine that commercial ones are even more complex. In
Right.
terms of the ability, so we're just in terms of what we're required to do in terms of having a plan, that we've already seen that this
Yes.
plan has changed from what that plan is. And so once it goes through that building consent process, it's highly likely, I would have thought, that there could be changes that are going to have to be made to that plan. So, and there's a time lag for that whole process. You know, building consent, you submit your application and then they've got the 20 days or however long they've got to, and then in that process is toing and froing, and that extension can go out. So that process alone could take before the building work even starts and within the premise. So, and you know, why I wasn't aware that building, you know, that's why section 100's there, isn't it? That you have to have provided the building consent. But in this case, we haven't even applied for it. So the plan that we're looking at is very. Do you want to?
Well, do you want me to take some instructions
Yeah, I
about
think
that,
you're going to have
perhaps?
to. And maybe we just hear from the reporting agencies on that point of what their issues are. If you've got concerns or any issues that you want to raise in that process before you do so, at least I think it's worth raising, because it's
Yes.
to me, you know, we need to know what the plans are, and we need to know what we're in order to deal with this matter. And if it's going to be a lengthy delay, I mean, the license couldn't issue in any event because you don't have building consent. So that,
Okay.
you know, so we'll start with the inspector. Good morning.
Good morning.
Just introduce yourself.
Yeah, sure. So my name is Karen Marianne Eagle. I'm a trainee environmental health officer employed by Upper Hutt City Council as a warranted licensing inspector under section 197 of the Sale and Supply of Alcohol Act. And I have been employed here at Upper Hutt City Council in this position since July 2023. So I have just on 18 months experience in this role. Today I'm standing in for Sarah Jane Van Mill. Sarah was admitted to hospital for emergency surgery. Sarah is my team leader and is an experienced environmental health officer. Sarah Van Mill also has 18 months experience working as a warranted licensing inspector. Sarah and I vet all alcohol related licenses, including food and beverages. So between January and December this year, between us, we've vetted around 260 applications, it's included both duty managers and alcohol licenses. So yeah, that's just about me. Thank you.
So do you have an opinion? What's your view on this?
So yes, I'm going by Sarah Van Mill has prepared her brief of evidence and the information. I know Sarah has very strong concerns in regards to the amount of changes that have happened in this application from the start and from gathering the information. It was especially around that supermarket size. So I did confirm, yes, under the sizing of the supermarket that it would look like a supermarket, but yeah, there just has been concerns about the changes. What kind of products would be in the supermarket was very hard to report on due to knowing and the organisational structure. So there's quite a few things about the business that was quite hard to form a view in some parts of that. So I know Sarah has found that quite difficult.
What about in terms of the building consent process? Maybe I'm not sure if you're aware in terms of what's your policy on accepting alcohol applications in when there's no consent?
Generally, this is very new for us, so this is quite an unusual. Generally, we have had a new on license that has produced their building consent with the information with it. In this aspect, there was mentioned that the applicant said, I think it was in one of the post-applicant meetings, that the business may not be viable or may not go ahead if the alcohol license was not granted. So I guess we were sort of under the understanding that they would like to know whether an alcohol license would be granted before they went ahead to spend money in regards to building the premise.
There was for the on license, but that's the only experience you've got in terms of accepting.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. Thank you. Sergeant Jones.
So yeah, the issues that you raised in regards to consent and stuff like that, yeah, we have had similar applications for previous premises where evacuation schemes and also building consent issues have been a main topic, and the license wasn't issued at all on those grounds. So I think the committee is valid for what's up bringing.
Dr. Palmer, welcome.
It's not really my area of expertise, but just to confirm that at a meeting, Mr. Hutchins did say that if they couldn't obtain the liquor license, the supermarket would proceed. But yeah, I think like lots of applications we have, the shifting sands change all the time, but yeah, I think it's over to the committee to decide what.
Okay.
But you know,
Yeah.
like the applicant's required to provide plans that shouldn't change after the hearing.
I was just thinking about what Dr. Palmer said. This is it. I'm trying to think from it practically, right? How it will work in the real world.
Yes.
So let's say we hear all the evidence from everybody. I'm getting way ahead of the game here, right? And the committee's of a mind to grant a license of some sort. but we still don't have this building consent required 100A. So like, how's that going to work? Is it going to be like, here's this decision conditional on
X, Y, Z.
the building being built as per the video? But if it's not built as per the video, because my hunch is, again, just for personal home renovations, things seem to change, right? And a big commercial, my hunch is something will change. I don't know what, that's my hunch. It might not be something big, right? So let's say it's not built as per the video. So it's conditional on being built for the video. It's not built for the video. Then is that, like, how does that result work? It just seems odd. That's probably what I'm trying to say.
Yes.
But it's actually one stage, we're not just dealing with the video, because if there was building consent, you could say, you could probably almost go down, and that's what when we came
Right.
this morning, that's the scenario I thought we were in. But
Yes.
then to hear that no building consent has gone in, so the chances of that changing, I just do not see. That's why I'm asking you, how we can proceed, because the section 100 has to be complied with.
Yes.
And we have to, in order to reach any decision, we have to go through, that's why I raised the supermarket. We have to be sure that it is a, basic thing like a supermarket. So it's, and in order to do that, we have to also be confident that the plan that has been provided is the plan. If it's suddenly, consent might come back and say, oh, well, you can only have this area, you can only do this, or I mean, I don't know, it's all, I don't know, I'm not a building expert.
Well, okay.
But it's, we don't at this
Yes.
point have any confidence that the plan that you're going to produce throughout the next 2 days. Sorry.
No, that's okay.
Yeah,
I'll-
of the hearing.
Yeah.
So maybe you take instructions and we'll adjourn. What's the time now? It's 1:15. Let's go back at 1:30 then, and you take the instructions.
I mean, that may be a little lot. Before we did,
Okay.
there was two immediate responses that I will definitely take instructions.
Yeah.
Because I hear you loud and clear, you're saying eligibility. Is it eligible? 100 subsection F tells me as the decision maker that I must consider whether there's a certificate of public use.
Yeah.
And is it going to meet the requirements of the building code? I have myself experienced decisions where licensing committees have granted a license subject to the issue of
I've
that-
granted them myself.
Exactly.
It's not uncommon, but you've got a
Yes.
building consent number. And
Yes.
you know that that is the consent,
Yes.
that's what's going to be consented. In this case,
No,
it's
I-
very premature. to
no,
be-
I disagree. I disagree that it's premature. And what I wanted to highlight to you is context of the nature of the works that are going to occur, the fit out works. That this is not a new premises, new build. This is a building envelope that is enclosed. So you've seen that there will be an entrance that will require work, the installation of lintels, etc. That's quite discrete work. The actual internal sort of fit out and layout, etc. We're talking about the moving of shelving primarily.
But isn't there bathrooms and kitchens?
Yeah,
and-
that's right, and
Yeah,
that's
there's
the
plumbing
rear
and-
of the store.
so-
But it also argued through the building consent, you can only need local fire authority evacuation. So what was the previous
Yes.
occupancy and all of those things, which.
That's right, and we've had some of that, in terms of declarations made, etc. But look, I think what I'll do is I'll talk about these matters because it's right. You're raising a really sensible question. How can we proceed today?
Yeah.
I hear that loud and clear for you. There's a range of things that I'd indicate we could proceed on, but what you're also raising is if the plans are going to be different and they are going to be produced in evidence today or tomorrow, then are people looking over those, thinking about those? There will need to be evidence given in respect of those. Like we've always indicated, this is not a case where this is the last item to be ticked off, so to speak, before the store can open. There is significant work that needs to occur. So unlike some other licensees who have purchased a new premises and they're rearing to go and they're waiting, there is an opportunity where perhaps if we return at some point, that could also assist, because adjournments can cure anything like this, in my respectful submission. But I guess we're all here, aren't we, trying to progress this after a year.
I'm talking about my practical question, right? So
Yes.
section 63, that's that section, right? So it could be subject to any condition from the committee.
Yes,
So let's go back to my little example.
yes.
So section 62, subject to, it's built like the video.
Mm.
Right? So, I mean, I know that's a bit simplistic, right?
Yes.
But built like the video.
Yeah.
And it turns out something does change.
Mhm.
And it's not built right by the video. But I'm really going back to what Dr. Palmer said. There's this catch-22 going on.
Okay,
The supermarket's not going to be built till it gets a liquor license. But it's not going to get a liquor license until it's built like the video.
Mhm.
But it's not going to be built like the video until it gets, I can't
That's
connect
right.
that loop there.
okay,
And so I know you say it's not premature, but how does that loop work?
yes.
Do you hear what I'm saying?
I agree, and I just say to you, section 3 tells you that the characteristics of this administration of the sale and supply of alcohol are reasonable. So let's work through that. I think,
We as a decision maker, so
Yeah.
have to, as you say, you
Yes.
know,
is it eligible?
form an
Can
opinion.
we do it?
Yeah, and
Yeah.
that's
I
why I
hear
just think rather than,
Yes.
okay, you take the
It's the-
instructions
yeah,
and
let's
then
do
really
that.
to
Yeah,
make a
let's-
decision about whether. Okay.
We can do that. Thank you. It's helpful to know.
Can we go out into?
Sure. Maybe have a chat with Peter.
Yeah, Peter, that would be up to you.
Oh,
is that?
Yeah, I think, you know, he's gambling. Yeah. And, you know, she's had more than enough time to sort this out.
The issue that he wanted the technical license.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. Yeah.
Situation.
Yeah, yeah.
You know. I think Dr. Palmer's it, was here.
Yes, it's a Nicholas,
Yeah.
yeah.
Realize that, Lisa, we never did that whole safety briefing, so can you do that in case there's an earthquake?
Yes.
Like the brief.
So in the event of an earthquake, please follow the procedure of drop, cover and hold, and do not evacuate unless instructed by staff. The congregation point is out in the green space over there. Require first aid or have a medical emergency, please let staff know and we will assist you. And we obviously all know to exit the building, you go out and to the left, and then the bathrooms are down the corridor and to the left at the end.
Thank you very much. Mr. Lang.
Oh, thank you, Ms Thompson, and for members of the committee. Look, helpful discussion and instructions. Where we've got to is we hear your need for certainty, your need for clarity on the plans. And from what we understand, the consenting process is imminent. So a consent is about to be applied for. But where does that get this committee to when we hear that? What I'm suggesting is that actually it might be prudent to make haste slowly and to seek an adjournment to allow for a couple of things. One is obviously that to consent to be filed, and there'll be some working day stops, I guess, over the Christmas period, but get that filed and then to get that consent through the consenting process so that actually we can then file with the committee the building consent plans, the consented plans, and then look to perhaps also at the same time as we do that, file some of this depth range layout product evidence from Mr. Hutchin, if that's convenient, rather than leading it through orally. So you've got certainty about that aspect. And then perhaps we resume the hearing at that point. Just conscious that we could go down a track where people have in mind one plan, and actually it would be great if we were on the same page. And that informs your opinion forming exercise, both on amenity and also the supermarket. And then hopefully that means we then proceed.
So I imagine in terms of the closing for Christmas though, in terms of the
Yes.
consent, that'll be on Friday. And then
Yeah.
you get,
That's
and then
right.
so it
Yes.
won't be till next year. So
Yes.
the reporting agencies, you've heard what Mr. Lang's got to say. Have you got has anyone got any comments that they would like to make? We'll start with you, Inspector. No comments. Okay.
Thank you.
Sergeant
Support
Jones?
what
You
Mr.
support
Lang
it,
said.
Dr. Palmer,
Yeah.
you're nodding your head?
Yes.
Okay. I don't think we need to adjourn to discuss it as a committee, do you? Are you in agreement? I think it's a sensible, that's why I raised it as I did. So we will adjourn it until, how we do this, until the app,
Well, two things were in my mind, were one, to think about some dates, for example, of a resumed hearing and try and almost to tentatively schedule those. Because I know if we get to sort of February and then people are going, I'm busy March, April, then we're suddenly a bit late. So I wonder if there were possibly.
But the chances of the application being submitted for Christmas is probably not great.
No,
It's ready.
yeah, it's ready.
Okay.
It's ready
We've
to
got
go.
the fire, the
You've
structural,
got- and
everything.
You've got the statutory days over the thing, so.
Yeah.
That's right.
I think at the earliest we would be looking at would be April, wouldn't it, be March?
Well, Peter, who's going to be paying for the building consent, said it would take 20 SLA, whatever that.
Yeah, the
means.
20 working
20
days.
working days, and that's his
that's the
experience,
guideline.
and he's
But
got.
the dates change, statutory dates change over the Christmas period, so the working dates, it doesn't start, the dates I know from
Yes.
at Wellington City Council, that
It's a
the
three,
certain-
2.5,
yeah,
3 week stop, isn't
yeah,
there?
the 3.5 week stop, they don't even,
He
20 days won't start till after that date,
Yeah.
even if you filed it this week.
believes he'd get it back by end of February.
That may well be the position, but the statutory requirement is there's certain dates over the holiday stage. They shut down. Your 20 working days don't start till after that date. So that would be, we don't want it to keep adjourning it. I think we'll adjourn it till the end of March. Unless,
Right, is there, Well, I don't disagree with that.
So let's look at
oh.
dates in early April then, shall we? And then if you let us know if you have got consent and you can, we can reassess.
We can try and bring it earlier.
We can bring it
Well,
earlier, but I
yeah,
think
that's
the
right.
chances are, with the Christmas break, get the consents toing and froing, because you get the 20 days and then
That's
they
right.
come back with queries and say, no, you've got to change this. It's not a straightforward process. So I think if we were looking at dates in early April that we could,
Yeah.
has everyone got their diaries here that we could?
I think I'm okay.
Is it tentative? I know I'm being ambitious with Ms. Thompson about whether we could provision 2 dates, for example, one in say the 3rd week of March. That'd be too late.
No.
So one in the 3rd week of March and then, for example, one in the 2nd week of April.
Okay.
So we're provisioning those dates.
Yeah.
But then we can
Change, and then we can
file a
fall back
memorandum
on, and
immediately.
we can actually fall back on the April date if the March
Yes,
one doesn't work.
exactly.
Okay, that's a good idea.
If that, okay.
Okay,
We might
Yeah,
just
I mean,
look at
that's-
the site.
that's
yeah,
what-
maybe we'll have to do that through, with that in
Through the
mind.
secretary.
If we do it through the secretary,
Okay.
so everyone just emails their availability for that 3rd week in March and
Okay,
and a date in April. And we'll just rely on. The committee will do that as well, and then,
Yeah,
so I think that's.
so we're looking to do 2 days though, right, still?
Yeah, do two
Yeah,
two tentative dates. I think we'll have 2
Yeah,
days
of 2
appearance
days,
of
but-
who,
Yeah,
no, just of 1 day, I think. Do you?
Just for clarity on the weeks that we're already looking at, then just
Yes.
Dolan, at the 3rd week of February, my understanding.
No,
that-
March.
Sorry, March.
Yeah.
Getting easier to.
That's
That would be starting the 25th, is it?
let me just look at that, sorry, 13th, it would be the 17th.
so you're looking at 17th.
And
The
prior
17th
to
of
that,
March.
then, the applicant, are you proposing to file some written?
Yes, yeah, very
and
much,
Updated, so we'll have to factor that in to give the reporting agency.
That's
the
right.
opportunity to respond on that.
sometime, yes,
So I think it is,
Yes.
we are looking at April realistically, because that process, you've got to give them 10 days or at least 7 days of filing it, so. Let's do a date, start of April and the end of April. When is Easter? This-
It's 20th of April.
oh, right,
That's right. This is those 2
Okay.
prior dates were.
Let's look at the availability of the 1st week of April, the 1st to the 6th, and then the 21st to the 27th.
I know.
Oh, no, that 28th, let's do the 28th till because it's Easter week and people will be away. The week starting the 1st of April and the 28th of April.
It was weeks, so it's the week starting the 28th.
Okay, if you can let Lisa know your availability for those 2.
So just to clear, so we do, because we just talked about how many days we
I
took.
think a day each, don't you? And then we've got the 2 days. Or do you want to have set 2 days down?
You want to
for
set
each?
2 days. I think that's what you were meaning.
that's right,
Okay,
yeah,
well, let's do 2
setting
days
out a
in
block
April.
of 2
Yes,
days,
it's a block of 2 and then a block of 2.
yes,
And only one of the 2 will go ahead, obviously.
that's
Yeah,
right.
okay, perfect.
And
Okay.
I must admit, I'm relentlessly positive. I feel like, you know, the end of, if there was a date more towards the, 3rd or 4th week of March, I'm anticipating we could definitely file material prior to that, because we'll start
But you
working
need to
on that
get- but You
material.
need to get the consent, then the
Yes.
applicant needs to file the documents, then we've got to give the reporting agencies,
Yes,
and then.
some time to
time.
work
It-
through. I
it's-
know,
it's- I know you're optimistic, but I'm a realist, and I think that that's realistic in terms of the date. So
okay,
that's what we will do.
okay,
Okay,
yes,
thank you, everyone, and we'll see you next year.
okay. Well, thank you. Thank you. That's right.
Finished now.